As Deb's short-lived relationship with Geo comes to an end in Dexter Original Sin, her conversation with Harry about dating sadly foreshadows her tragic romance from the main series. But before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, drop a like and comment on the video, and if you're able, please sign up for channel memberships for exclusive content, which really helps us out. Anyway, back to Miami. So, throughout Dexter Original Sin Season 1, teenage Deb has been in a worrying romance with the mysterious Gio Martino, an older guy in his mid-20s who she met at a club. He was already a shady figure, but the two finally broke up in Original Sin Episode 8 after Deb found out about Gio's illegal smuggling, with Dexter then revealing that Gio also has a fiancé. After the breakup, Harry confronts Deb in Episode 9 and simply tells her he's happy she's safe. However, Harry does try to put his foot down so she'll stay away from men like Gio, stating, "No more dating older guys ever." You understand? With Deb smiling since her dad isn't mad and is actually paying attention to her, she jokingly responds, "The heart wants what the heart wants, but I'll do my best." However, Gio certainly isn't the last older guy Deb dates in her life, with her biggest age gap relationship ending in a devastating tragedy. Of the older guys who Deb goes on a date with in Dexter, the most notable is Special Agent Frank Lundy. Introduced in Dexter Season 2 to help Miami Metro, Frank Lundy was an FBI agent who was well known for being able to solve seemingly unsolvable criminal cases, particularly those involving serial killers. Therefore, when Lundy arrived to lead the task force to investigate the Bay Harbor butcher, he was Dexter Morgan's worst nightmare. However, while Dexter tried to keep Lundy off his trail throughout the investigation, the FBI agent formed a close bond with Deb. Eventually, Deb and Lundy's friendship led to a romantic relationship, though he was over 20 years older than her. Deb decided to keep their relationship a secret throughout the investigation to maintain her privacy and avoid accusations like that from Dexter, who somewhat jokingly accused her of trying to sleep her way to the top. Their relationship was ultimately exposed, but soon ended when Lundy left Miami after the Bay Harbor butcher case was closed. Lundy would of course return 2 seasons later when he believed that Dexter's elusive Trinity killer had returned. While Lundy had retired from the FBI, he still wanted to take down the Trinity killer, which led him to rekindle his romance with Deb. However, the night after they sleep together in Dexter Season 4, Deb and Lundy are both shot by the Trinity Killer's daughter. While Deb survives the shooting, Lundy tragically dies from his wounds, leaving Deb devastated and traumatized by his fate. Sadly, Deb having bad boyfriends like Gio was a common occurrence for her character in the main series, whether it be armed robbers like Andrew Briggs or secret serial killers like Rudy Cooper. Her romantic struggles were often a frustration throughout the show, and the idea that Deb confessed to being in love with Dexter in Season 7 certainly didn't make them any better. However, while Frank Lundy wasn't necessarily an ideal match for Deb and the context of their romance indicated it would never work, he was actually a good, respectful guy who treated her better than the others. If he was still alive, it's highly unlikely that Harry Morgan would have approved of Deb dating Lundy due to their age gap, especially after his warning post-Gio. Still, if Deb really loved Lundy and he truly loved her and treated her well, then Harry likely would have to come around to accepting it, just like Dexter did. Ultimately, it was Lundy and Miami Metro's own Joey Quinn who were Deb's best boyfriends in Dexter's main series. While he has the biggest age gap with Deb, Lundy isn't the only older guy who she dates where their romance ends in blood and death. In Dexter Season 1, Deb's romantic interest is Rudy Cooper, who turns out to actually be the ice truck killer, aka Dexter's biological brother Brian Moser. As it turns out, Deb and Brian had met long before he went by the alias Rudy Cooper, as Original Sin Season 1 Episode 9's flashback reveals that Harry and Doris briefly fostered Brian after Laura's death. However, Harry and Doris decided they couldn't raise Brian in their own house after he tried to kill baby Deb. When Deb was crying in her crib, young Brian grabbed a pillow and tried to smother her to death until Doris Morgan stopped him. Original Sin's flashbacks wouldn't be the only time that Brian tried to kill Deb, as he later kidnapped her, tried to get Dexter to murder her after revealing his true identity, and tried to kill Deb again before Dexter stopped him in Season 1. I guess she's just unlucky.